All right, people. So, hear me out. Hear me out for a second. I know some people out there are wondering, you know, what the hell is he doing? It's 10 days into October, 10 days into spooky season. He hasn't done any fucking commentary to jump off spooky season. But, look no further. Here we are. Look no further. Now, I could have did there was a lot of options here. There's a lot of things I want to get done before we get to October 31st. I wanted to jumpstart this with Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Wanted to do Trick or Treat. Wanted to do Hell Night, Night of the Demons, Creepshow 2, Terrifier, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. There's a lot of movies that I picked on this list. Some of them won't make the cut for the commentary. Some of them will, but y'all kind of see where I'm going with the selection of movies, man. I feel like those are movies that definitely fit spooky season, that definitely scream Halloween and speak Halloween into our horrific hearts, man. But for the most part, people, it's been a little minute. I think the last episode was the Black Panther Wakanda Forever trailer number 2, which was y'all can check out my trailer reaction for that if y'all want to. That's all I'm gonna say about it. I'm gonna keep it spooky season oriented in this intro. But yeah, man, it's been a little while, and rightfully so, because the house renovations have slowed down, the cleaning of house has slowed down, things have slowed down for the most part. So got a little more wiggle room to get to get back into the groove of things, man. And I think we're at 66.2 K spins if I'm not mistaken. But even if we're not, if we're past it, if we're I'm pretty sure that's where we're at, but I'm just talking just to talk here. I appreciate y'all, man. I always appreciate y'all still tuning in, still spreading the word, still hitting me up with words of encouragement, and still, breathing life into me when I take these breaks. I'm not going to, start to sound like a broken record like I always do. I know a lot of people say they never get tired of, I don't ever have to feel bad for being appreciative, but I know some people out there are just like, listen, man, we get it. Just get on with the fucking commentary. Do what I was about to say. Do what we pay you to do. But I'm not gonna tap dance. I'm not gonna tap dance in that sense. But we are gonna get into this commentary though, man. Candyman, 2021, man. I really, if it was gonna be something affiliated with Jordan Peele, I was gonna do Nope, because I feel like a third viewing. I've only seen it twice. I feel like a third viewing for that movie would definitely do it all the justice that I need. I know there's a few things that went over my head, maybe more than a few things that went over my head the second viewing, but it was between that and this. I wanted to do Get Out and Us. Maybe I'll get to that later on in the month before the 31st gets here. But this I gotta be honest, man. When this movie came out and I saw it, I did a review for it. And my review was pretty long winded from what I remember, like all my reviews are. Y'all know I cannot give a regular review like a regular human being, because what the fuck is regular nowadays, man? But to say the least, this was one of the most interesting, intriguing, creative, slasher movies, supernatural slasher movies that we've gotten. You can't really consider this a reboot. I mean, they are breathing new life into the franchise with this movie, or they did breathe new life into the franchise with this movie. But this was definitely exactly what they said it was, in the description. It was a spiritual successor. It was a direct sequel to that original movie. And rightfully so, man. No disrespect to Candyman Farewell to the Flesh. I love that second movie. I feel like that is an underrated sequel in general. But as far as a Candyman follow up, while it's not as creepy and not as atmospheric as the first movie, I feel like Candyman Farewell to the Flesh definitely deserves its credit. Veronica Cartwright was a casting steal in that movie. Kelly Rowan is amazing in that movie. I think her performance was great. And you definitely got some other good performances in that movie. Tony Todd is not just phoning it in that movie, and he does a great job as well. The third movie, however, we were going to get a fourth movie after that took place in New England at an all-girls college, and one of the girls was, Candyman's descendant or some shit like that. That's how the sequel was. That fourth movie was going to go. But I feel like after Candyman Day of the Dead, Tony Todd couldn't even save that movie. You had Nick Corey playing, the main girl's love interest, and he was like the mysterious character. Nick Corey, for the uninitiated, that was the guy who played Rod in Nightmare on Elm Street, the original Nightmare on Elm Street movie. But the girl that I can't remember the main actress's name in Candyman 3, it's bad. She's bad in the movie. The movie feels cheap. It looks cheap. It's just not good. And they just reduced Candyman, who is not a average slasher. They reduced him to just that. It plays out like a regular slasher movie with slight supernatural elements to it, and it just doesn't work as a Candyman film. It's not even better than the second film. So the fact that we got Jordan Peele co-signing director Nia DaCosta here, I think to see a black female director helm a property that is so sacred as Candyman, which was created by Clive Barker, a white man who breathed life into black exploitation horror in the 90s, 92 if I'm not mistaken. That first movie came out, it was either 91 or 92. But to see you know a black female director take this property on and have this take on a life of its own with her own flair and her own spin on it, and to have somebody who's well established in the horror genre nowadays like Jordan Peele, to have somebody back in your film like that, she couldn't miss with this, man. And I remember doing an episode on it prior to the movie even dropping a trailer, and I said, listen, we need to be more excited for this movie. Especially black people in general, we need to really get out and support this movie and be excited for it and give it a fair shot. And I remember when the trailer dropped, my reaction was a little scattered because I wasn't sure what they were doing. It's like, okay, is this becoming the new Candyman? Is there a new legend? Is Tony Todd back? And then more and more as I got into the trailer and started to break it down, my prediction was that it was going to be a possession film. Nia DaCosta already blatantly said it was going to be a body horror film, but I thought it was going to be something along the lines of like Nightmare on Elm Street 2, where Freddy's possessing Jesse to do the murders for him. But it didn't really turn into that so much so until maybe the end, and even that was a different twist on the whole thing, man. But before we get into this commentary, people, this movie's fucking great, man. You got Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, he's got a fucking great agent. Let me say, hey, I don't know who his agent is, but his agent deserves a raise, man, because he's a part of some really big names. You got him in Candyman, him in Aquaman. He plays Black Manta. He played young Morpheus in The Matrix Resurrections. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I liked how swagged out, I hate that word, but how swagged out Morpheus was in that role, man. You got Tiana Paris, who just, her aura glows like nothing I've ever seen on screen before, and we're going to leave it at that. You've got Coleman Domingo, who's a fantastic actor, man. I like Coleman Domingo a lot. You got Vanessa L. Williams coming back to play Anne-Marie McCoy, and that is part of the connective tissue along with Yahya Abdul-Mateen's character. That is what makes it a direct sequel. We've got characters taken straight from that first movie. But and we got some other players in here. I think everybody does a really good job performing in this movie. But we'll cross that bridge, when we get there. We'll get in front of that mirror and say that name when we get there, people. But y'all already know, man, we're about to get into this commentary. Now, I am watching this online, but I'm pretty sure this is on, like, I don't want to say HBO Max. I know this is on demand somewhere, people. But, it is the straight theatrical run through, no director's cut, no extended scenes, no nothing. And that's just in case y'all are tuning in with me. And y'all already know, if y'all are tuning in with me, y'all are the true To The Reviews MVPs. So without further ado, people, let's jump into this commentary for 2021's Candyman. I will hit the play button in 3, 2, 1. Did I hit the play button right? Or did I? Okay. Just making sure we didn't fuck up. I always feel like I gotta knock the dust off. Like when it's been a really long time since the commentary's been in. Y'all get what I'm saying. Let me stop. I love that the Universal logo. Every logo is reverse. It's backwards. I feel like that was such a nice touch. And if it's one thing I love more than watching this movie, it's watching it with people who haven't seen it before. Because I remember having to explain to people that I watched it with. They were like, "Well, why is it backwards? Is it is it the copy? Are we watching the wrong thing?" I said, "No. All of that plays into what this movie is about." And that's one thing I love about this movie, is that Candyman's doing different shit here. Candyman wasn't existing in the mirror realm the way he was in this movie. And I feel like the way they portrayed Candyman, like the way he was literally living in the reflections, was very Poltergeist 3.
I didn't do anything. Hands. Laundry.
Oh, can you do mine?
No.
Genesis Hale, who plays Billy's sister here. I can't remember the actor's name who plays Billy, but Genesis Hale, that's Maisha from The Shy. She actually was just in the female BET Cypher, and I'm sorry, she's the only good rapper in that cypher. Apparently, she writes her own shit. Picked up a drop sock just to drop another one. That takes talent. It takes true talent. I'm not gonna hold y'all, man. When this opening was going on, I really thought um this shit was gonna open with this kid, getting straight up Georgied. Like not 1990 Pennywise Georgie, but what was that, 2017 when It Chapter 1 came out? Georgie got fucked up. I thought they were going to do that and let us know, like, listen, kids can get it too. Candyman does. Candyman never has discriminated. He cut that little boy's ding ding off, and just left him there bleeding out in the first movie. That's when that little kid, who they should have brought back in this one, I can't remember his name. I think his name was Jake in the original. He's like, they found it floating in the toilet. This was also something new they added for this version of Candyman. The fact that he tosses candy at people, literally candy. It's creepy as shit. And this motherfucker was hiding out in the walls. One of the reasons why Jordan Peele, you better still be doing People Under the Stairs. It's got to be creepier than it's ever been. Yeah, I thought that kid was getting filleted in that scene. And listen, man, I don't give a shit what his motive is. You come creeping towards me like that out of the wall, like you gonna get stabbed with your own steel hooked hand. Love this opening, man. This upside down open. God damn. Shout out to Nia DaCosta, man, because a lot of people said that this movie was an art house film and, art house horror film, and that it was too woke, quote unquote. Art house style of filmmaking, maybe. And personally, I'm not a big fan of that type of stuff, but, watching a lot of A24 movies have made me not really judge them so harshly like I've been doing. I'm still not an art house guy, but movies like Hereditary and Midsommar, I really enjoyed. As fucking traumatic as they were. But artsy, sure, this movie. It's very stylish horror film. Um, Way more stylish than your average horror film. But as far as too woke, the people that deem this movie too woke obviously don't know shit about the source material. Whether it be the actual novel. I think the novel was called The Forbidden. And Candyman wasn't, he wasn't what they made him into be in that first movie with Tony Todd's character. There's actually a shot of what the original design for Candyman was supposed to, or was. And later on in the movie they show that. But the whole too woke thing, first of all, God bless Clive Barker for, you know, giving blaxploitation something horror wise that will live on forever. And I will always respect Clive Barker for that. He's done things like Hellraiser, Nightbreed, and he's delivered us Midnight Meat Train and stuff like that. But Candyman is it. That's it. For me, anyway. But I just disagree with people that say this movie's too woke, because it is right along the lines of the themes and the social commentary of the original film.
You nervous? What? You're doing that thing with the bottle with your hands. No. A little fidgety. No. Yeah. You nervous? No, I'm
This what are these characters or these actors rather?
I'm fine.
Nathan Stewart Jarrett and Kyle Kaminsky. Nathan Stewart Jarrett, who plays Troy Cartwright, Tiana Paris's brother.
What is this wine?
He is very snobby and bougie, but I don't mind his character. Like some of the interactions he has with his sister is very sibling-like, is very realistic. Because we've all got that sibling that just doesn't know how to mind their business, has no fucking filter whatsoever.
At some point, you gotta move on.
Oh, except that you haven't, though, right? Made peace in what, 2 years?
It's just that you're my muse, and I don't see you often enough, Charoy.
Oh my gosh, stop. You are too much.
Thank you.
Right.
Let it reach.
He's still salty we didn't use him as our realtor.
As you can tell.
Their bookshelf, not only their bookshelf, that's one thing, but their apartment as a whole is
He
flames.
must like you because he is really showing his ass. Isn't he always?
Overpaid, Bree. It's not just the inside that counts.
It's close to the gallery.
Yeah, that's very practical. Okay, what is wrong with it?
Well, nothing.
As I told my sister many times, the neighborhood is haunted.
Everywhere is haunted.
Troy, do not start with that.
Sure, but why'd you have to choose a place that used to be called Smoky Hollow, then Little Hell, then what is it?
Motherfucker says Smoky Hollow.
What's it called now?
That needs to be a movie in itself.
Projects. Affordable housing.
And just for the record, man, like,
You would never.
I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all, man. I've done full-length commentary for this before. I just never uploaded it because I'm not gonna say no names, but I did this commentary with 2 others prior, probably sometime last year or so, or whenever the hell the movie had, started streaming. And somebody I was doing a commentary with made a comment and was like, "Well, why is the black brother in the movie got to be gay and this, that, and the other?" And I did not want to air that commentary, drop that commentary at all, because I didn't want any of my listeners that are gay to be offended by comments that somebody else made in that episode. So, like, just to clear shit up for people that did have a problem with that, the brother and his partner, Clive Barker, the creator of Candyman, by the way, is an openly gay man. So, like, I feel like inclusion, as long as it's not forced and as long as it's not just thrown in there just to be thrown in there, like, if it fits the narrative and it's in decent context, who gives a fuck? I feel like normally this character of the brother, he would just be Captain Exposition, but his exposition is given for a reason. And, while he's doing his exposition, they're giving you these paper puppets reenacting moments from the original movie. So it's all in good context, man. I feel like as long as everything fits the story, who really gives a fuck?
She beheaded a Rottweiler. By the time the police show up, she's in one of the apartments, doing snow angels in a pool of blood.
Bullshit.
And not only is it exposition, but he lying his ass off. But this is how black people tell stories, They know a guy who know a guy who knows a guy that says something, who told the story differently 10 years ago. Like, story switches up from generation to generation. That's real life.
The baby of one of the residents is abducted. The mother is devastated. Everyone is looking for him. And
I'm mad that really looked like Anne Marie when she was crying over the baby's crib in the first movie, where she's like, "You did this."
Helen arrives with a sacrificial offering.
By the way, if I'm rambling, people,
Baby in her arms.
part 24-hour energy drink and part triple espresso from Starbucks. Still rolling.
While everyone is fussing over him, Helen stands up and walks right into the fire.
This motherfucker really says Smoky Hollow.
Burns to death right in the middle.
I'm sorry, that shit is hilarious.
Is my rosé still in the freezer?
You don't want the Moscato?
Moscato dessert wine.
I happen to like Moscato.
And Anthony, get painting. My sister's not trying to support you the rest of my life. Put down those weights, pick up them brushes.
See? Sibling shit. Siblings who don't mind their motherfucking business and they other siblings' relationships or marriages or whatever. Trust me, I've been there. I've been there.
Just glad Troy's finally dating someone normal. I was getting exhausted trying to keep up with all those European fashion designers.
Listen, girl, your sleepwear is phenomenal.
What time is 5 coming tomorrow?
10 a.m.
And of course, if they show her in her
About what you're showing.
luxurious sleepwear, then they gotta give a topless Yahya Abdul-Mateen in his drawers, in his briefs. And I'm not gonna lie, this motherfucker's making me want to go to the gym, man. He really is.
Huh. I guess you did kill a Rottweiler. Damn.
I don't care. I'm not trying to get creeped out in my new apartment.
Tiana Paris, I can't remember her character's name in the was it WandaVision she was in? She was in one of those 20,000 Marvel shows that they dropped. But I'm glad that they give her character, like they let her be an actual character. She's got some type of superpowers. I'm not sure what they are. I didn't get into WandaVision. I haven't gotten into any of the Marvel shows, to be honest.
Who are you?
But I also like Tiana Paris in The Photograph. She's not in it much, but she plays Lil Rel Howery's
This is Anthony McCoy
his wife.
from years ago. I want the Anthony McCoy of the future. I want the great black hope of the Chicago art scene of tomorrow. That's the guy that I gave a solo show.
This motherfucker, man, Brian King, whose name is Clive. You know, it's a nice little nod to Clive Barker they threw in here, rightfully so. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this, but Tiana Paris and Nathan Stewart Jarrett, their last name Cartwright is a nod to Veronica Cartwright, you know, the actress that was in Candyman 2. But this dude, Brian King, I didn't mind he got murked off in this movie because if y'all watch The Shy, y'all know exactly who the fuck he was in season 1 and what he did. And he ain't shit.
For communities of color, in particular black communities.
Yeah, like where you're from.
Yeah, Brownsville.
Southside of Tennessee.
Or Cabrini Green.
Bye, babe. Oh, don't forget we have your mom's tonight.
7.
750.
Bye.
And I love that we went back to Cabrini Green. Cabrini Green is a real life project. And I remember, I believe they said that while they were filming the first movie, they needed to get permission from the gang members and residents in Cabrini Green to film there. And they let them do it. A lot of those extras are, just regular tenants and gang members. But this movie, everybody that's talking about is too woke. It's all relevant. It's all relevant to a lot of things that were in the novel, plenty of things that were in the first movie. Gentrification is a thing now in this one because it's a modern take. Oof. Now, I don't give a fuck if you Yahya Abdul-Mateen or not. You get stung by a bee, you gonna react. I've been stung by a bee once in my life. I really want to say this was 2012, 2013. I got stung in my basement at the old apartment in my fucking right arm. And when I say it was some of the worst, it's up there with paper cuts for me. Pretty sure I said this before. But he just brushed it off like, oh, I got stung by a bee. I'm Black Manta and Morpheus, so I don't feel it. Nah, dog. And he is doing what, black people shouldn't do in horror movies. I know this is a predominantly black horror film, but come on, dog. Like, you do not snoop around. Even though, I can't say nothing because I keep telling people I want to do a road trip to Centralia, PA, which is actually based off of, they based Silent Hill off of Centralia. It's a ghost town that's still on fire underneath. So if y'all hear me going to Centralia, I'll do a podcast episode while I'm traveling out there, just for y'all, for you ghost hunters out there and shit. But if that episode never airs, or if it's the last one that, that drops, it's been real. Was it worth it? I don't think so. This scene reminds me, Anthony snooping around in the graffitied out, abandoned, apartment. Apartment living quarters. Y'all get it. It reminds me of when Helen was snooping around. You know, when she walks through the part of the of Cabrini Green where it's Candyman's face and she walks through the mouth. That right there, that is the original design of what Candyman was. He was monstrous. He wasn't really human form in the novel. And I'm definitely not snooping around Cabrini Green and no Chuck Taylors. I don't even wear them often. I got one pair, but I'm not doing investigative journalist work in Chuck Taylors. I'm not doing it.
They'd almost never come around here back in the day. Unless it was to take someone in. But that was a long time ago. Now
What
they
I'm gonna
can't
do is take it
stay
way
away.
back.
At night, they post up where the last of us still live.
He's like an evil Dick Halloran from The Shining.
Keeping us safe.
Rest in peace. Shout out to Scatman Crothers, but
Or keeping us in. You lived around here for a while? Since before the high rises came
I like
down.
those loafers he's got.
William Burke. Anthony McCoy. You need a hand? Home sweet home.
Do not leave your clothes unattended in washer or dryer.
Ask the white people around here about Girl X, down-short babies, blank stares. One white woman dies in the hood and the story lives on forever. It's a good story.
People, if you hear the baby in the background, that is not negligence. My niece is giving them a hard time in the other room.
What can make someone just snap like that?
The youngest of the bunch usually does. But that's my fellow Sag. All my Sagittarius stand up. Is it Sagittarius or Sagittarians? All my centaurs. Y'all know what the fuck I'm saying. Our season's coming up, rapidly approaching.
Neighborhood character used to stand out there and hand out sweets to us when I was a kid. One October, a razor blade shows up in a little white girl's Halloween candy. Police come around here looking for Sherman, but Sherman's gone. And one day, I saw him myself.
How can you just not be completely engulfed in what he's saying? Like listen, I'd have called my lady up like, babe, I'm gonna be in this laundromat for a minute because this motherfucker got stories. All right, don't be too dramatic. No, I'm not gonna lie. I'm telling y'all, that motherfucker came out the wall like that, I probably would have screamed.
True face of fear.
He's like, well, they're gone, so here, take this candy still. Why would the kid take the candy? See, thank God my daughter know about stranger danger, yo. Now, I don't know if he dropped that candy just because he was like in a state of shock or he did it to signal the cops or what.
They swarmed him. Killed him right there on the spot.
Beat the fuck out of Sherman. Which is not woke, by the way. It's relevant. Shit happens way too often to black men in America. And for them to insert that into this movie, again, good context, good narrative, good, it fits in good with the story they're trying to tell this time around. It's another reason why, and I think I said this in my other review, it's another reason why I appreciated Spiral so much, because for them to include crooked cops and just police brutality and unjust murders and things like that normally most of the time go unpunished, for them to incorporate that into a movie like Saw was so good. Spiral is actually one of the best in the series just for doing that. I don't think movies that do that are considered too woke. Because if we do that, then we gotta single out damn near every horror movie George A. Romero ever did. His movies are always socially conscious. You gotta single out Wes Craven for, you know, The People Under the Stairs. Single out William Crane for Blackula. You know, you gotta, like, let's not be picking and choosing. This is one of the reasons why I love blaxploitation, man, because we have our own subgenre here that speaks to the things that go on in the world. You know, this art imitating life.
Let's see. Huh? Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Oui, oui.
Okay, bon.
I'm pretty sure that's French she talking.
What's up?
You forgot your mother's.
I'm sorry.
Will you please call that woman?
Tomorrow. I want
You
to.
said that yesterday, and it's nice that she wants to spend time with you. Not everyone has that.
It's true.
Is she okay?
She implied that I give you money so you won't visit her.
So, she's about the same.
Stupid.
That's great. I want to show you something.
Do I need to come upstairs?
They've got really good chemistry, man.
His face was beaten so badly that it was unrecognizable. And that's where the story started. About them seeing him around to bring.
Like certain on-screen couples, I would not mind one bit if they were couples in real life. And Tiana Paris and Yahya Abdul-Mateen II are definitely an example of that.
What do you think?
Well, it's a pretty literal approach. Not much room for viewer interpretation, you know, moving from the symbolism of violence to the actual depiction of it.
Okay, but how was it hitting you?
It's painful.
I feel really connected to this.
Ladies, y'all don't be taking us seriously about shit. We be coming to y'all with, you know, thought-provoking shit like, listen, Sherman got beaten and became Candyman. You want to do it? And then y'all just be like, whatever. I hear you. I hear what you're saying.
And I'm sure Clive.
Oh, there's one more thing. The legend is, if you say his name 5 times while looking in the mirror, he appears in the reflection and kills you.
Okay.
So, I thought that we could.
What did you think?
Summon him.
And that's exactly how a black woman would react. That laugh and that response.
Anthony, no.
And I'm gonna tell y'all something, man.
Stop.
Grown ass man or not, I have yet. I make joke about it. I have yet to say that shit in the mirror 5 times. Because no.
Stop. What happened to your hand?
Fucking beast thing.
Really?
Yeah, shit.
Looks like it.
I called that in the trailer too. I said that bee sting is going to become the beginning of the end for his entire right side. That's a part of that body horror that Nia DaCosta said that we were going to get. But let me, you know, I ain't flexing, I ain't bragging or nothing, but I called it. I said that bee sting was going to be what it was. I called it before she even said it in the interview that we was going to get some body horror, because I be knowing. And I feel like sometimes when I be knowing, I be spoiling a lot of shit in the film for myself. But that's alright though. I'd rather be knowing. This girl, I know she's not in the movie much. She's only in like 2 sequences, but I don't like this girl. I'm not talking about the actress. I'm talking about the character she plays.
We can go now.
Oh, shut up. You need some art in your life. Director knew exactly what he was doing by keeping that woman's ass in the frame.
He's recreating and looping archival
Shout out to
footage.
Nia DaCosta. I'm sorry.
Just take your time. This is quite a departure from your previous work.
Go ahead, open it. I'm trying to align these moments in time that exist in the same
This woman,
place.
she almost looks like both Veronica Cartwright and Virginia Madsen from the first movie.
But now,
Now, Veronica Cartwright, mind y'all, is in the second movie,
Tell your boy not to huff the critic.
but she looks like that.
He's got a whole
This girl that's with Clive,
Yeah, no.
his intern
I
slash fuck buddy, she looks like she's auditioning for Gem and the Holograms.
She's interacting with the piece.
the mirror invites you to attempt the summoning yourself. Anyway, I don't know why I'm standing next to my own piece like some kind of asshole. Word speaks for itself.
No, it speaks, all right. It speaks in didactic knee-jerk cliches about the ambient violence of the gentrification cycle. But your kind are the real pioneers of that cycle, you know. Artists. Artists descend upon disenfranchised neighborhoods, dividing cheap rent so that they can dick around in their studios without the crushing burden of a day job.
Jesus, lady.
I'm gonna get another drink.
Yeah, you do that. I would have followed her ass to the bar. Like, wait, hold on 1 second. What do you mean by that? Cause goddamn, lady.
What? Summon the Candyman. Yeah, no. Black people don't need to be summoning shit.
True
No,
that.
that's nonsense. This isn't
That lady
about
was really projecting.
Chicago, that's
Like, let me see your motherfucking artwork.
Candyman.
It takes a lot for people, like, the people who criticize the most have no idea what it takes to do what you do. That's people, no matter what you do. But
Of course I did.
being critiqued is a part of it's a part of the field, man. It's part of the game.
And
This motherfucker look like LeBron James and Delroy Lindo.
I love intervention strategy. Conventional painting is such a drag. I love that you hid those fucking things in a storage room with the lights out. So smart. Is all your work based on found material? I mean, where'd you even find those things? Thrift store in the desert?
I found them in the studio where I painted them. You goofy ass fuck. And you fucking hyenas.
Oh, what the
Let's
fuck?
go, clap.
You think you'd even be here if it wasn't for her?
Shouldn't you be somewhere stocking up on morning after pills to accommodate your summer intern program?
Jesus.
That's not spontaneous. Yeah, you had that one in the bank.
Yeah, I did, bitch.
It's fine. I can take them cover.
Mind you, he was drinking non-alcoholic beers all night.
I know.
Like, y'all ever? I'm not gonna hold y'all, man. One of my old heads had me. We were actually watching Prey, and he was like, "You want a beer?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like I could drink." And he had me get 2 beers out his fridge, and they were non-alcoholic beers, and I'm just like, "Oh." But I go along with the illusion. If people don't enjoy drinking like that, actual alcohol, then that's fine. And more power to people. But I at least thought it was going to be a volume of some kind with the beer.
Make an apology for that display.
Atrocity exhibition.
Shoehorning her boyfriend into my summer show was her first mistake.
Only mistake.
She has no one to blame but herself. Don't mix curation.
People, I'm not gonna hold y'all. My laptop has got a bit of a stutter,
Jesus, Jerry,
like a
I'm getting
buffering
enjoy
type of
this.
thing that this shit's doing right now. So if it's like skipping and skitzing and shit, my apologies, people. Cause goddamn, y'all know how I feel about that shit.
You know?
It's one of the reasons I don't like doing. Y'all remember I used to do a lot of commentary for Tubi movies, and when the movies were on Tubi, I would have to cut it when those ads pop in. Fucking pain in the ass.
Don't do it, okay? I don't want you to die tonight.
fuck.
What a gentleman.
You're no good for me.
You know what? I changed my mind to it. Necrophilia's always been on my bucket list.
Yeah, you should seek therapy, sir. I remember posting in the Return of the Living Dead group on Facebook. I was like, is Kurt in Return of the Living Dead 3, is this considered necrophilia? He brought his girlfriend back to life and then he fucked her at some point when they were in the sewer hiding out. And I was asking everybody, I'm like, is that necrophilia? And everybody's like, yep.
Candyman.
Are you serious?
Quiet.
This sequence, man, is executed so well. From the bee that you think is in the room, but it's literally on the inside of the reflection. This was so well done. So fucking well done. This movie like is so well framed. This death sequence. But this right here, I remember telling somebody, I was like, yo, you don't see that bee's on the inside of the reflection when he touches it? Because when I saw it, I was like, what the fuck?
See? Nothing.
And then that, you don't even see Candyman in the reflection at first. Oof. Is this real? He's got the worst reaction in the history of motherfuckers that reacted. Oof. That appliance that they put on her neck. Oh, that shit looks real. That's a nice little slit throat for you. Tom Savini style. The way he cut into that screen was creepy as fuck. And I love that Candyman floats in this movie. He does not walk. He is floating in every sequence. First of all, why? You gonna stick around to look at the man in the mirror? Motherfucker's just floating towards him. And the way he turned, that corner to come after him, his movements was unnatural. They need to stop doing shit to people's Achilles tendons in movies. Fuck! Yo, this move, he was gripping him. It's so well done that as he's being lifted into the air, like in the real world, not the reflection world. That's how I'm gonna call it, people. I'm gonna call it the real world and the reflection world. But in the real world, really real world, you can see Candyman's handprint on his throat while he's choking him. That's why I said this movie is stylish, yes. Artsy, probably, because this movie does things that, again, your average slasher would not do, which is why this movie works so well. First of all, I'm leaving. Like, when I see that blood in that shoe, I'm not following the trail. I don't want to discover shit.
The murders occurred
Nothing.
after Night Driver Gallery's group show opening. The bodies were discovered in front of a piece from rising star Anthony McCoy entitled Say My Name. Law enforcement officers say they are investigating.
That's all he needed to hear. He's like, well, I'm being recognized finally.
They said my name.
He's so proud of himself.
They say my name.
They looking at him like, nigga, you serious? Did you hear what they just said? They both got the same shell-shocked face. And then his girlfriend's looking at him like, nigga, I discovered these bodies, and you proud of that?
I mean,
It's crazy.
Obviously, it's awful.
Obviously. To be recognized, he is proud. This part was something that I feel like, I mean, I get it, but they did nothing with it. You know, they just put it in there. This flashback sequence of Tiana Paris' character, you know, her dad being a painter, an artist, and him killing himself. Who her dad, the guy that plays her dad, is also in The Shy. He's the guy that kidnapped Keisha.
Bet you didn't know your daddy could fly, did you?
Shit. My daughter would have looked at me like, you out your motherfucking mind? Mind you, her dad jumped out the first floor window and he's alright. But no, they inserted that in the movie and did nothing with it whatsoever. Now I get it. She's very weary about, you know, Anthony losing his mind. But you know, the fact that her dad was a painter and killed himself, her boyfriend's a painter and he's like going crazy, you know, gradually going crazy as this movie goes on. I understand it in that sense, but they never brought it back up again. The nightmare she was having about her dad. It was one of those things that I don't know if it was a deleted scene where they went more in depth or what, but it didn't go anywhere. It was a big problem I had with this movie. Now somebody could have looked at it as, you know, like a filler scene or whatever, but I kind of wish they would have expanded on that. Now he was just trying to flex his muscle. That's why he was closing that door as hard as he was.
Is or how you knew it existed. But this is everything we have under Helen Lyle.
It didn't. That's why I had to ask.
Well, it is.
Appreciate it.
Of course, yeah. I found it vital under true crime. It works in my
Now was that her way of flirting with him? She liked that dark meat. Now I don't know if they had somebody else recreate Helen's, you know, Helen's dialogue on the tape recorder, or if that's really audio footage of Virginia Madison from the original movie. I don't know what they did. My guess is that they had somebody recreate her lines. Kind of reminds me of what they did in Terminator Salvation with Sarah Connor's voice when Christian Bale is listening to the tape recorder. And speaking of, you know, voiceovers that were recreated in movies in general, I'll take this and the Sarah Connor voiceover in Salvation over that guy who did the voiceover for Dr. Loomis in Halloween H2O. That was god awful. That hand, man, gangrene and shit. This elevator sequence with all these reflections, this was also very Poltergeist 3. Because there's more than a few scenes in Poltergeist 3 where you know, Reverend Kane is fucking around in the reflections in the elevator, Carol Ann's fucking around. Yeah. Oh, it looked like a real cut. Yeah. First of all, did the motherfucker make the candy to get the razor blade in there? Yeah, that would have been my reaction as well. To see him up on the ceiling, plus I really hate elevators as is. Christ. He's walking past the kids like, I wasn't doing nothing. I love how none of them moved out the way. And let me tell y'all something. I'm already very antisocial as is, but I hate when people don't move out the way. Now that lady, I think that's the original actress's voice. There's a black lady. There's two black ladies actually. Who oh my God, his fucking hand, yo. Who Virginia Madison questioned and or interviewed in the first movie. I think that's her real voice.
Yeah, it is. I read it in the papers. Candyman killed. Yeah, but I don't know nothing about it.
I'll tell you everything you need to know, but I don't know nothing about that.
We have the dinner tonight.
I don't know how long I'll be.
Well, Jack Hyde is coming in from New York, and he never comes to Chicago. So please don't fuck this up.
I'll be fine.
For me. Don't fuck this up. For me.
Alright, I heard you. See, I would have just been like, look, I'm not going. I'm not going. How about that? I ain't gonna fuck up nothing because I won't be there. And then I end up going anyway because you don't want to piss the lady off. And the fact that this was one part that it doesn't bother me, but character wise,
It's been
it irks the shit out of me.
crazy couple of weeks.
He gets recognition because two motherfuckers is murdered near his art piece, and now the lady who was just completely tearing his artwork and his art form apart at the gala, she's now on his dick. Like, fuck out of here, man. That's how people really are. People don't, people don't support you and they don't see your talent and your worth, not money wise, but just your worth overall. They don't see that shit until it's convenient, until it's beneficial.
Pretty interesting considering what happened.
That's a coincidence.
I'm not saying that you're at fault. And I'm certainly not saying that a ghost manifested by collective storytelling killed a prominent art dealer. I'm just saying that all of a sudden you're worth.
Yo, she really does look. She looks like a combination of Virginia Madsen and Veronica Cartwright. What is this actress's name? Let's look in the Barney bag, people.
I'm hoping to do a solo soon. All about Candyman. Spread the word.
Oh, what about that idea?
I'm surprised at how positive your
Rebecca Spence
seems to be now.
plays Finley Stevens here.
On me.
Seemed like you didn't quite get it.
No, I get it. It's the hood, gentrification, etc.
Artists gentrify the hood. Who do you think makes the hood? The city cuts off a community and waits for it to die.
Preach.
Then they invite developers in and say, hey, you artists, you young people, you white, preferably, or only, please come to the hood, it's cheap. And if you stick it out for a couple of years, we'll bring you our Whole Foods. You want to be a part of the story, right?
Well, as a critic,
To really engage with the work, to get it. You should say it.
Say what?
Say his name.
Yeah, now you're going a bit too far, motherfucker. But this actress, Rebecca Spence, she was in Contagion, which was a movie. First of all, Contagion came out in 2011, and all of that pandemic shit was displayed, even back then in this movie. Public Enemies, she was in that. I think that's a decent movie. Not Johnny Depp's best movie, but there's some really good moments in that movie. She was in Man of Steel. I was about to say she was in Candyman, but we're watching that shit. She was in Empire. She was in Slice. Half decent comedy, man. Now this train that she's riding on, that is the same train that Christopher Walken was in when he almost got robbed in King of New York. And of course I'm lying like shit because Cabrini Green's in Chicago and King of New York was in New York. But wouldn't it be funny if Christopher Walken was just passing through in that scene, and we had a shared universe, and he's just like, "Come by the Plaza Hotel. I got work for you." I be going too far with my damn scenarios. Oh my god, stop picking that fucking scab. God damn it. Do y'all remember being kids, man, and you just keep fucking with a scab? That shit looks disgusting. That is gangrene times 12. Hepatitis Z type shit is what that is.
Henry?
That's hippopotamus pox. That shit is disgusting. You know, to combine Candyman with a fucking body horror film on the side was just crazy. This was a cool scene. Now, I'm not gonna hold y'all. What creeps me out more than anything, you know, more than his reflection being the actual Candyman, you know, Sherman Fields, is Sherman's face. You know, he said that, you know, when he was telling his girlfriend, he said that they beat him so bad he was unrecognizable, and this looks like he was beaten to death. This shit looks medically accurate. This was cool though, but this was in the, you know, when they showed this part in the trailer briefly, that was when I was like, okay, this is probably going to be a possession film, because in moments in Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Jesse's reflection is Freddy Krueger. This motherfucker's about to start doing dance moves just to make sure oh my god, and Candyman's in the reflection behind her.
What?
This is one of those movies that I had to watch twice because it was a lot of little reflective moments that I missed. But that's why I said one of the things I love better than watching it is watching it with people who haven't seen it, because you run back so many scenes, so many moments. In this sequence, man, I've never seen a death scene like this in my life, where you're just literally zooming out from this entire apartment building and you see somebody getting murdered as we're still zooming out. So tastefully done, man. He just fucking is just tossing her all around the apartment at some point. Not all around, you know, it's not Nightmare on Elm Street, but he fucked her up. But to zoom out, that was a particular thing to do, man, and it works.
Careful.
I love being here. It's so provincial yet exciting. Oh my god, have you met Danielle Harrington? She's chief
Curator at the MCA. I find it crazy that we actually haven't met yet.
I've been so eager to meet you.
Don't you start already. I get first dibs. Clive literally had to
Whoa,
die for...
this isn't a fucking slave auction, bruh.
Jameson's doing a show at my gallery in New York. I think it's the opportunity for you to spread your wings a bit more. Come to the big city.
Again, apologies, people. If I was not almost, I'm not gonna hold y'all. Y'all know I have a very short fuse. As patient as I am, I have a very short fuse for technology bullshit. So my apologies for the stutter, but if I wasn't almost an hour, just about an hour into this, I would definitely just give up on this fucking commentary. But spooky season, I haven't done in 10 days of October, so I gotta get this out to y'all. I do this for y'all, man. At this, you know, risking my own sanity.
Anthony.
The Coleman Domingo can't believe he came back for another story. He's like, welcome, young blood.
What is he?
Coleman Domingo, for me, in this movie is the equivalent of Judd in the original Pet Sematary. Whereas though he's like, don't worry about Candyman, young blood. Get yourself some rest after I told you every fucking story about every version of Candyman ever in life. Judd did the same shit to Louis Creed in the original Pet Sematary, and he is the fucking villain, more so than that Indian burial ground in Pet. I can't fucking stand Judd the more I watch the movie. You know, because he's like, you know, Louis is like, yeah, my cat died. Or Judd found the cat. He's like, yeah, your cat died. And he's like, well, your cat died. Your daughter's going to be upset. But you don't want to take the cat down to that ancient burial ground where it can come back. You don't want to do that. Take you down that road.
One day, he's commissioned to make the daughter of a Chicago factory owner who made his fortune in the stockyards. Well, Robitaille committed the ultimate sin of his time. They fell in love.
These little paper shadow puppets, I love that. You know, another artistic touch that this movie does, but I feel like it works so well for the story they're telling here.
In the middle of the day, he collapses from exhaustion right near where the old tower in Chestnut used to be. They beat him, tortured him.
Now, low-key, I'm not going to hold y'all. We've heard and seen 3 different stories for Daniel Robitaille. We got this. We heard the story, but we saw the story also in Candyman, Day of the Dead, or Farewell to the Flesh, and Day of the Dead. We've seen 3 different versions.
But a story like that, pain like that, lasts forever.
Making
That's
this
Candyman. So, he's real. Dale is real. Samuel, Sherman, Daniel Robitaille, they're all real. Candyman is how we deal with the fact that these things happen. That they're still happening. Get some rest, young blood.
After you done scared the shit out of my spirit, sure. I'll sleep fine tonight. He is the Black Judd. Get some rest, young blood. Come back tomorrow night where I can tell you more scary stories to tell in the dark.
Don't look at those!
Oh, I almost forgot about that part. No, I'm not going to say he scared me, but startled, yes.
Anthony, we are beyond sensitive artist bullshit. What is going on?
I think I made a mistake.
Their performances are so good here.
I brought him back.
Who?
You promise you won't think I'm crazy?
Anthony, who? Oh, God. Oh.
Listen, we gonna have to do a secret handshake or something
From the laundromat, he knows about
in order for you to think I'm not crazy. Pinky swear.
Candyman isn't real.
I saw it.
Candyman isn't real, Anthony. You know what is real? Me, Anthony, me. This is real.
You don't understand.
Okay, I will show you that. Okay, Candyman.
No!
Candyman!
That's a ride or die chick right there. She was going to say Candyman 5 times in the mirror just to prove him wrong.
Don't follow me.
And Candyman was just awaiting on that reflective side. Fuck around and find out.
Let that motherfucker try to come up in here. Fucking art ogre, fucking fee-fi-fo-fum. Grady will stomp on his ass. Isn't that right, Grady?
If I have to stomp, I'll stomp.
I mean,
He ain't worried about nothing but rolling up that doobie.
Candyman. And I'm like,
Candyman ain't real, nigga. I told you not to start dating that Dapper Dan ass, little Basquiat ass, fucking no job, sunrise.
Troy, okay.
And a dick on the planet good enough to offset a demonology hobby.
Okay, Troy.
A demonology
But
hobby.
it's the truth. If Grady came up in here smashing mirrors.
Alright, you take care. Let me see. You are in timeout. Good.
Put his grown ass boyfriend on timeout. Now this is the moment I actually I love between the brother and the sister.
Spoke to Mom. She wants to close the storage unit out, so we finally have to deal with Dad's work. I was thinking maybe we could sell, or if you want to keep anything.
I don't want any of that in my house. Thank you.
Well, then sell or do a show. I think you should open a space.
I'm not doing a show of the thing that killed him, Troy.
You can't.
I know that's right.
And then just hope it goes away.
It's a tad bit exploitative.
Every time a tortured artist has a psychotic break.
Ouch.
I'm sorry. We breathe. I'm glad you're here. You can stay as long as you want on the condition you don't try and summon Candyman.
And he's a great sibling, but he's still a fucking asshole because he's still making a joke about the Candyman shit, and then he just picks the tiniest piece of lint off of her shirt and then just like flicks it off. But it was a good moment for them.
Guys, what should I do about my books? Trina's fucking trash.
Now here we get the dumbest group of schoolgirls in any horror movie. Next to the girls that partied at Hall House and Night of the Demons 2. I think I'm gonna do commentary for that this month as well. That's a great Halloween
Candyman?
watch right there.
I changed my mind. I'm not gonna do it.
Don't be a pussy.
Why not? It's a warm and wonderful thing. For already information. Fine.
Okay, ready?
Why is her name Boof?
All at once, Thomas. Candyman. Candyman. Candyman.
They're like a cult choir.
Not today. Not today.
Yep, the Asian girl was the smart one. She like, fuck this. And Candyman opened up the windows. He tried to let them know. He's like, listen, y'all keep playing.
Candyman.
Well, we're still alive, so.
Hey, Trina. Let's go.
What was the deal with them and this girl?
Hey, Trini, how's that hangover? It's such a mess. Oh, Trina's fucking trash.
Just let her drink that much.
That's between her and her dad.
Now, I guess they were all drinking last night, but
Lock the fucking door.
Haley, I'm too young to die. Open it.
fuck that. I was not drinking in high school. Absolutely the fuck not.
Guys. Wait, I forgot my vape.
She's like, guys, do we have new mirrors where shit's only on one side? The way this girl's blood hits the floor is so strange.
What are you doing?
You can hear the hook cutting into her. The way that blood drips down is so fucking weird. But let me ask y'all, man, would it have made the scene better or taken away from how it was executed if we would have seen every girl get murdered in this bathroom? Because I thought this was going to be the highlight kill of the film. She was the main one. Now she trying to get away. And Candyman is literally floating off the ground. Now, we all know how that played out. Black girl probably got blamed for it. I said that when I seen the trailers. I was like, that girl's going to get blamed for all these murders. Every last one of them. Listen, I've slept on a floor before, but this motherfucker, like, it's pieces of art and glass all over the place. Just like, what is... Oh! He got glass in his fucking hand. Like, come on, bro. Oh, this was so David Cronenberg, the Fly type of shit where his fingernails are coming off. It's bad. It's all bad. You need to go see somebody immediately.
We've been trying to move in a fresher direction for the past few years, and our last curator was a great guy, but just had a hard time getting there.
You are obviously in the wrong place. Now, the SLY and obviously and the PL in place, are they like on the fritz for a reason?
Yes. You know what? I think he's been trying to get us together before
It's
that.
crazy about Clive. I heard you were the one to find the bodies.
Yeah.
You've really emerged as an interesting figure amidst all this. The show you put together sounded so good, too. You were so brave to embrace formlessness.
Well, actually, there were a lot of body figures in the show. Like Arnold's work. For so long, abstraction has been about indexing a sublimated emotional state, and I just wanted to focus on the body.
Oh, of course, but I mean, between recent tragedies and your father's legacy, you've got a fascinating story.
Why do people always want somebody to capitalize off of shit like that? Oh my god, man. Again, it's exploitative. That's why she told her brother she said, I'm not getting rich off of the thing that killed him.
Members are buzzing about McCoy's work. Feels like
Buzzing, pun intended.
the show is something we can start talking about. And of course, any other artist you have your eye on.
The New North Side community, once known as Cabrini Green, is stunned by the vicious mass murder at Golan College Prep. Police have found a startling link to the Art World murders,
where 4 bitchy teenage girls were rightfully slaughtered. Joking, people.
What? I saw in your file you were born here.
I think there's really only been
No, it says you were born here.
well, maybe I feel like at least one in every Candyman movie deserves to get killed. Like Trevor was a two-timing piece of shit, man, and he did not have Helen's back right, the right way. And Xander Berkeley, the actor who played Trevor, he ain't shit in anything he's in. He wasn't shit in Candyman. He wasn't shit when he played Gregory in The Walking Dead. God damn. I think he deserved to die more in The Walking Dead than Candyman. Then in Candyman Farewell to the Flesh, there's that detective who keeps taunting Ethan Tarrant, Annie's brother. He keeps taunting him about Candyman, and he gets murdered for fucking around. And here, Vanessa L. Williams looking fine as hell. She looks better now in this movie than she did in the original Candyman. She was one of the most exciting things I geeked out about in that first trailer. And I think, back to my point, Candyman Day of the Dead, that alcoholic, abusive, crooked ass cop definitely deserved to die. But unfortunately, I don't think Candyman got him. I think he got shot.
Inspired a lot, actually. I could breathe.
You want some tea?
I heard a story about a fire. Killed a woman named Helen Lyle. The baby that was taken. Something they used to call Candyman.
Don't say that.
Watch your mouth. This was one of the.
I was born on the south side.
I did raise you.
For this to be a moment of clarity is so heartbreaking.
But you were born in River North Memorial and spent the first 2 years in Cabrini.
Why did you lie?
To protect you.
From what?
I just wanted you to grow up happy and normal.
Do I look normal, Mama?
Yo, my dog is.
I have to know.
He's on everything moving out there. Squirrels, birds, cats. Like this motherfucker tried to chase the cat up the backyard gate. He was trying to climb up that.
When you first got taken, I thought she was the one who did it.
And her acting is so good here,
When you
man.
first got taken, I thought she was the one who did it. Helen. The way I found her in our apartment, covered in blood. We all thought she was crazy.
And she cut Fido's head off.
But it wasn't her.
The sadness and the frustration and disappointment in his face while he's hearing this story. God damn, man. They both do such a good job. I wish there was more scenes with these two. But I feel like
He chose you to be.
this one scene with them probably meant the most.
He wanted you to burn in that fire. But she pulled you out. And gave you back to me.
Why she smile like that made the story better? Do you know what has transpired here?
I thought it ended that night. In the fire, I thought she ended it. And we vowed to never say his name again. Someone broke the pact.
The stutters.
You found me.
I hate technology sometimes.
I'm sorry.
Everything needs the bugs worked out of it, apparently. He wasn't trying to hear shit, man. Anthony checked out at that point. He really did, man.
Anthony, it is Troy. Come out immediately where I can see you. Immediately.
He act like he wearing a wire.
We are picking up her things, and we will be leaving with them.
Sound like he's saying a poem.
He's not with Noah either. What the hell is going on?
Candyman got his ass.
It's not funny, Troy.
The X? Was that like X body spray? And I don't know. That store next door to the laundromat said the X.
Hello? Anthony?
Did that door lock on its own? Does he have a mechanism? That's all I'm asking. She hit a Jordan Peele one time. She said, nope. Just break the fucking glass. Because that's exact. Listen, nope. Mm-mm.
Hello? Excuse me? Please?
Away.
I want to play.
No.
Please, I'm not scared anymore.
Play with your puppet.
I'm gonna pee on your bed if you don't let me in.
You're being so annoying right
What
now.
are you doing?
Mind your business.
Come on, let me play. Please.
This game is for grown-ups, and you're a big baby.
I'm not a baby.
Go away.
Wait, was it 2 girls in there? Candyman really is the definition of if
I said.
you know how all those memes be like, fuck them kids. He will kill kids. That shot, that's one of the best shots of Candyman in the movie. It's not as distant, but that right there where he's got the hook in the mirror.
Now, we have a witness.
All right, Kirk Franklin.
Oh, yes, I think that's all the guy you're looking for. The Say My Name killer. He's roaming around the row houses at Cabrini. A black man, around 30. He was waving a hook and talking crazy. I think he's killing people down there.
He was trying to sell it. Now, what did he give her? Chloroform?
What the fuck? I was baptized here. Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah, Anthony?
Oh, yeah, I guess I'm on some other shit now, huh?
Yeah.
When something leaves a stamp.
This is kind of where the movie tailed off for me. I'm not gonna hold y'all.
Thinning. Deep in the fabric.
It felt like we had way more of a third act left to go, and they kind of just had to. I don't know if it was for runtime's sake. They kind of just had to wrap this story up pretty much.
They tore down our home so they could move back in. We need Candyman.
Yep, Anthony has become Harvey Dent.
If we kill their fathers, sisters.
His fucking body, like his whole right side, looks almost like a honeycomb. His eye is dead. Like, jeez, oh my god.
A chance for Candyman to take back what's rightfully his.
The effects are fucking crazy for what they did to his body, though. Ooh. Fuck. Woo. Fuck.
See, you can really make the story your own. But some of the specifics should be somewhat consistent.
Yeah. Oh. And that single tear that falls from his eye, it kind of lets you know, like, he can feel it, but he's kind of numb to it. If that makes any sense. It reminds me of like when Jared Padalecki was getting
lost his mind and the cops shot him down in cold blood without even saying a word.
You know, when Jared Padalecki was getting ready to become a wax figure in House of Wax.
If you dare, say it 5 times in a mirror. See what happens.
Or not necessarily that scene, but when Jared Padalecki's getting his face peeled by John Abrams, and that tear rolls down his eye. It's time to go, sis.
Are you ready for the sacrament?
Now he really should have cut his lip on that razor when he took the wrapper off that lollipop. Yeah, Coleman Domingo, like his transition into this crazed guy. I feel like we should have maybe this movie should have been a little bit longer so we could have had more time to see him make that transition. But it's like he, just snapped and like he went crazier. He went crazy faster than Anthony did. Granted, we spent more time with Anthony because he's a protagonist here. At least, until we see what happens at the end. But I don't know. It's just something about this third act that just threw me for a loop. She not running fast enough for me. And I'm hopping the fence on that nigga. I don't even care. He about to get his. I was actually surprised at how crazy she went on this dude. It was very wrong turn 2021. I'm not gonna spoil the ending for anybody. She couldn't even lift that shit. Yup. Wash, rinse, repeat. Yup.
I think he's dead.
That's what you're supposed to do. Like every movie where a guy is going after somebody and they might stab him or knock him down, you keep going. Turn him into a pulp if you have to. Very satisfying to see her do that. And the fact that she couldn't even harm her man, that was still her man. Missing arm and honeycomb face and all.
No. Get up, Anthony. No.
She still was trying to stick by him.
Get up, please.
Ladies, let me ask y'all a question. Would this be a breaking point for your relationship?
Please get up. Please get up, Anthony. Okay, we're gonna get you help. We're gonna get you to the hospital, okay, baby? We're gonna get you to the hospital.
Put your hands up!
Not one, not two, but 3 shots. Now, technically, you cannot say he was unarmed. He had a hook in his hand, literally. Or you might as well just say in his wrist, in his stump. But they wasted no time. And you could tell what type of cops these were. This one cop who pulled the trigger in particular, you can tell what kind of cop he is just based off the dialogue that he's about to give Tiana Paris while they're in the car. But again, this is, no pun intended, this is reflective on society today. Cops, as far as cops shooting these black men.
Come on. What's going on? Get her in the car. We know what to do.
Did he have to handle her like that? Like she was a whole man? God, man. Look, shout out to the actual good cops out here. I feel bad for y'all because the good cops are completely overshadowed because of cops like this. And it's a shame, man. Because the good ones, they risk their lives every day, man. There's a chance they might not make it back home to their families. I mean, that's every person in the world. But it's a dangerous line of work, man. But I feel bad for the good cops because it's almost like they don't exist because of situations like this. Because you see way more of the bad shit than the good.
You know anything about that? Whatever you tell us helps. Any cooperation is noted. Saying what you saw. When he came at Jones.
And Jones obviously knowing what he'd done before, seeing his hook. knowing you were in danger, had no choice but to discharge his weapon.
Oh, he wasn't the one that pulled the trigger. It was another cop. Ain't none of them shit, though.
Sound right to you? Or she's an accomplice. She held the victims down, he cut them out. He died becoming a cop. She goes to jail for the rest of her life. Which story is it?
Manipulative as shit. But that's how it goes down, man.
What?
In the mirror. I'll tell you everything if you let me see myself.
This is not the time to be conceited, sweetheart.
I'll say whatever you want.
If I was a cop, I'd have been like, babe, you look good. You don't need to. Now, I knew what it was. I knew what she was about to do. Plus, I was kind of trying to put two and two together in the trailer when you see that shot of Anthony walking alongside of the car, the police car.
What?
Candyman.
What the fuck is that?
That's when he should have just jumped the fuck out the car. He should have just got up out of there. Here we go. As soon as them doors locked, it was over. This is shot so well. Now, once you see that bullets are not working against this regular guy, this seemingly regular guy, it's time to go. Opened up that trach for him. Now Anthony's just staring at her like, baby, you still riding for me? Bless your heart. I don't have to tear it out.
The writing on the wall.
You got Sherman's reflection.
I am the sweet smell of blood.
So many different reflections.
The buzz that echoes in the alleyways.
So well done, man.
I shed innocent blood. You are far from innocent.
Now, I always said that he reminds me, with all the bees surrounding him, we've never really seen that with Candyman. His face is completely covered. The bees are all over his body. He reminds me of, I think his name was not Movado, Draman from Mortal Kombat. I think it was Deadly Alliance or Deception. My Mortal Kombat buffs out there, y'all know who I'm talking about. Pretty sure his name was Draman. Draman Noodles. And he left her handcuffed. He's like, fuck this. He's like, I'm out of here. Fuck putting in 2 weeks. I'm off the force tonight. Or so he thought. Yep. It's time to float. He's floating gracefully, too. Now, this was a reveal for the ages, people. This had to happen. I mean, you could have went without it, but to make it a direct sequel, this had to happen. She's like, wait, aren't you Ben from Night of the Living Dead?
Tell everyone.
Now, I don't know if they, de-aged Tony Todd's face to make him look younger, or if that's just his original face, but that cameo was one for the fucking ages, my friends. And there we have it, people. To the reviewers, listeners, lovers, supporters, there we have it. God damn, man. Candyman 2021. Let's just jump into the rating here, people. I don't remember what I gave this movie when it first came out, but the more I watch it, the more I appreciate, as much as I'd say that I'm not a big fan of art house films this is not a full-blown art house film, but it has so much artistry behind it that I appreciate. I appreciate this for not being your average slasher. There was a lot of people that I remember, when they were giving me their thoughts on this movie on Facebook, they were saying it's trash. And they were giving me reasons why. And I think one thing a lot of us went into this movie forgetting was that this is not going to be Candyman just running around slashing people up. You're barely going to see Candyman. You barely saw him in the first movie. And I think one of the things that would have taken away from this movie is if you would have constantly showed him. It's one of the reasons why I think the new Hellraiser was so good, is because they didn't while we know who the main player is, they didn't capitalize on the new Pinhead. You barely see Pinhead in that first movie, and I think that's something Clive Barker does really well with those two characters, is that he makes sure that you don't get tired of them. It's like almost like it's almost like a reward when you get them back on screen, and you got to make it worthwhile while they're on screen, because if we don't see them again, you still want to miss them. So that's one thing I appreciate about this movie, is that it was not a run-of-the-mill slasher movie. It was a lot, like I said, artistry put behind it. It's very stylistic. It's very well shot. The writing is so airtight for the most part. The direction, Nia DaCosta has a really bright future ahead of her. For her to go from this movie, or for her to go from more so independent films to a major motion picture like this that broke ground and made history, to directing the Marvels, Captain Marvel 2 next, she's on the up and up, man, and I couldn't be more proud of her and female directors this day and age, man. She's a part of the Renaissance. So all that being said and more, this is a 9 out of 10 for me. Like I said, I don't remember what I gave it in my review a while back when it came out, like last year, but this is a 9 out of 10, man. It's so much to love, and this was one of those movies where the more I watched it, the more I appreciated it, and I saw things that I didn't see the first time. Anything where I'm taken back by shit that I didn't see the first time around, that's a sure win for me, as long as it's done right. And the performances here, Yahya Abdul-Mateen, it would have been really interesting to see what Lakeith Stanfield did with this role. I'm way more fond of Lakeith Stanfield as an actor. I like his range a hell of a lot better, but that's not to take away from what Yahya Abdul-Mateen II brought to this role. Him and Tiana Paris have such great chemistry in this movie. Nathan Stewart Jarrett was great. Coleman Domingo, as I said, is a fantastic actor, and I don't think I've seen a lot of him prior to this movie, but I definitely want to see more of him now that I liked him so much in this movie. And if I could backtrack for a second, the reason I can't give this movie a flat out 10 out of 10 is because the third act does feel a tad bit rushed. It felt like, okay, we've kind of run our course with a lot of this story, with a lot of the things we've been introducing here, the new and the old things we've been bringing back into the fold, and it kind of felt like they just had to wrap things up really fast, man. And the third act does it, I don't know, it just doesn't, it's not terrible at all. I love this movie, man, but the third act does not sit all the way well with me. But that's fine, man. And the transition Coleman Domingo's character, William Burke, makes, it's a little weird for me, man. It was a little sped up, but still a great movie nonetheless, man. And who else was great here? Vanessa L. Williams was so good here. Brian King and Rebecca Spence. This was a really classy, executed film, man, and I appreciate the shit out of it. And again, shout out to Nia DaCosta and shout out to Jordan Peele, man. And yeah, man, that wraps up this commentary. But that I'm already in the groove again, people, for spooky season, so we got to get way more of this shit popping for the rest of the month of October. It's been 10 days, so I had to get something out there to y'all, but y'all already know where to go, man. And if y'all don't, y'all can follow the podcast on Anchor, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Breaker, Radio Public, Podbean, and Podcast Addict. Shout out to Anchor. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, Romero Tudor. Shout out to the Facebook movie group, The Cinemaniacs, and shout out to the Facebook movie groups, The Horror Virus and Movie Preview Review. And last but certainly not least, shout out to the Tudor reviewers, the listeners, the lovers, the supporters out there. Hope y'all enjoyed the commentary. Again, man, Apologies for the stutters. I don't know if it was the laptop itself, if it was the movie. I don't know if it was Candyman trying to, tempt me to be, to summon him so he could fix the shit and do some other work around it. I don't know, man. But all I know is that we made it through the commentary. We survived the horror. We got a bunch more to come. Hopefully everything pans out the way it's supposed to with these commentaries, so I can get, Season of the Witch to y'all, so I can get Trick or Treat, and I can get Creepshow 2 and Sleepy Hollow and Dark, like all the horror themed ones that seem appropriate for a spooky season. But y'all already know, man, the love and support y'all show me, I show it back to y'all tenfold and then some. So with that being said, people, yours truly, Romero Tudor, another episode of Tudor Reviews in the can. I'll check y'all on the next one.